kind of an example. Yesterday in the legislature, we had a Senate bill come forward that says that the state, if there's an unconstitutional executive order, we can go through a process, get a joint resolution signed, and not follow the executive order. Some of the legislators there were arguing, well, the states don't have the right to tell the federal government what to do. We have to do what the federal government says. And I said, states don't just have the right to tell the federal government, they have a duty to tell the federal government when they're overstepping. That's why we have states. That was, strong states make for a strong United States. And so as a governor who believes that the federal government is calling the shots, it's like, okay, well, we're never going to win this fight if we have to invite the federal government into our own strategy huddle when they are the ones that are actively trying to take away the autonomy of the state. And we've got state people that are arguing in favor of the federal government's supremacy, you know, the Chevron doctrine, one of those things, and states that are willing to say, you know, we're not going to do it. It has a big impact, kind of like we're seeing with Texas and Governor Abbott. And
just going to go there.
Yeah.
25 states have pledged support to Governor Abbott.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I've got a op-ed that I'm getting ready to put out, and basically the op-ed is saying, hey, it's great to sign on and say we support Governor Abbott. Each state should be saying the same thing. If you're going to bring the if you're going to try to federalize the National Guard, you're not just going to be doing it to Texas. You're going to be doing it to Utah and West Virginia and all the rest of us. We should be taking the exact same defiant position with our National Guard that Abbott's taking, and so they know if you're going against Governor Abbott's National Guard, you're going against all of the states' National Guard.
Kind of like a NATO for
maybe. And I guess too, I was talking to somebody, and we were talking about this invasion, because that's under you know, that Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3. It's like, okay, we're being invaded, so states have the right to protect themselves if the danger is imminent. And I said, we are being invaded on our southern border, but we're also being invaded in our second grade classrooms. We're being invaded through our media. We're being invaded through our food processors, you know, selling off to China. Hollywood's been purchased. The media's been purchased. It's like, if there was ever a justification for states to stand up and say, we're taking action, sorry, President Biden, whether you like it or not, we're just not going to go quietly into the night because the federal government says that we have to. I feel like we're almost living in a captured nation, and the only solution is states that are willing to, you know, take a position, you know, in opposition to that. I don't want to go to jail again, Chad. That's what I'm. That's why I'm guarding my words. It's not a conspiracy.
No, I think it's a real threat. The whole question is how exactly do you make your way back from it?
Yeah, I ran a bill a few years ago, and it was I believe historically Utah was guaranteed at least one representative per county, kind of like we have now. So if you're in Montana, you get a representative in Congress, whether you've got the 500,000 people or whatever. So same principle applies. And to me, having a geographic component helps to reinforce the idea that you've got a bicameral legislature. When you go to both bodies elected at large by the number of people in their district, you've kind of gutted the bicameral nature of that. And it goes clear back to the Republic, you know, Plato's Republic. They had one body that was elected by the people from, you know, the rural areas or whatever. So they had a geographic component. I think it would be awesome. I think it would really help, and it would shift. About 9 urban legislators would now become rural legislators, and of course the urban people don't want that, so they'll vote against it. And then
they have the upper hand. You don't have enough votes left,
right,
to challenge that.
So it has to come back to a constitutional argument, and then they'll say, well, what about the equal justice under the law? That, you know, one man, one vote, and all of these things that, to me, we've got a pretty good precedent with our own, you know, federal level. You know, each state gets 2 senators, whether they're small or large.